guys, what's up? Hola, ¿cómo están todos? Lo siento, pero este video va a ser en inglés porque yo creo que no puedo hablar sobre ese tema en español. This video is going to be in English because I don't think I can, like, appropriately express my opinions on how I feel in español. Okay, so basically, I was introduced to a new concept. Y'all. I shouldn't be laughing. It's really not a laughing matter, but I'm laughing because it took me this long to realize, like, to know what this concept is. Maybe you can call it me being desensitized. I don't know. So I mentioned this in my previous videos. I'm a therapist. I work with kids who have been, well, kids and adults, pretty much people who have been traumatized with the DCI system in their life. A lot of this trauma consists of neglect, rape, molestation, being torn away from their homes, just a lot of trauma. So that's, what I work in on a daily. Well, I work with a lot, of teenagers and kids and everything, and I noticed that, some of the kids that I work with, they really like anime. So I'm like, okay, well, let's see what this is about. And I'm talking, they're like anime fanatics, fanatics. That, like, we go to the bookstore and they're like, oh my gosh, this is such and such anime character, such and such anime character, and everything. And I'm like, okay, cool, yeah. So, like, I was like, okay, let's give anime a shot, just because I kind of want to know, what they're watching. Not trying to be nosy, but just trying to, like, understand it from their perspective and everything. And, they told me that they can really relate to some of the anime characters in some series and everything. But, like, for example, yesterday I was watching anime with my boyfriend. He likes to watch anime. And we were watching the 7 Deadly Sins. And, like, don't get me wrong, I enjoyed the storyline. I have narcolepsy, so sometimes I fall asleep. But sometimes, I wake up and I'm like, oh, okay, there we go. What just happened? Tell me what just happened. Okay, so... but I made a comment about how a lot of the female characters are really over-sexualized. I'm like, why? And maybe this is just me being, I don't know, overprotective and just thinking, maybe because I'm American and, I'm from that Western, society, and I have that point of view, and I understand that, Japanese and other countries have different points of view on this, so I'm trying to grow my worldview on how cultures might be different, but I'm just thinking, literally, why are almost all of the female characters overly sexualized? Almost all of them, and maybe it's because that they don't view sex the same way Americans view sex. Like, Americans, we make movies and TV shows about violence, and no one really bats an eye. But I don't like violence. I mean, I don't really like watching a lot of violence, maybe a little bit, but like a lot, because I just don't like that. Whatever. But in the same way, France has more of an open mind they hate violence. They hate violence, but they have more of an open mind when it comes to sex. Like the nude body does not scare them. Like, I guess in America, the nude body terrifies us. But I asked them about it, and I was like, hey, why are all the female characters, they are over-sexualized? What do you mean? Well, they have really skimpy clothing. They have, like, disproportionate bodies. Like, well, this is based in fiction, not reality. Oh, okay. But some of the characters' voices just really got on my nerves, because it's like, oh, they're portraying female characters to be, like, excuse my French, dumbasses. Like, like, they have this unnatural, high-pitched voice, and I was like, oh my god, please tell me that this is not it's not a real voice, she's not real. But you know what I'm saying? So I was like, okay. And I was like, well, why do they do that? Why do they make, why do they, like, over-sexualize, those characters? He's like, it's called fan service. And I said, and I just kind of dropped it, because I'm like, I'm going to research this on my own, because I don't really feel comfortable talking about it. So I researched it on my own, watched some, YouTube videos, did some Google searches, and so basically, from my understanding of fan service is creators basically think about what the viewers want, and based off of what they think the viewers want, they try to give them what they want in either anime, either movies, anything. So, in anime, The Seven Deadly Sins, um, I noticed a lot of the characters, they have really like giant boobs. They have giant boobs, really, really tiny waists, and just like they're like this. Ooh, and I'm just like, oh, their boobs are voluptuous, but like, okay, I'm not, you know, and their clothes, they're just really, really skimpy. Like, I'm talking like skimpy. Like their skirts are like big, okay. And I'm like, okay, I'm trying to keep an open mind. Really, I don't judge me because I really am. I'm like, okay, just think. This is what my clients are watching. They love the moral story. They're telling me it's like all about virtuals. What? Virtue and morality and this and that. And I was watching it to try to find that, to take more and work it into my therapy sessions. Cool. I don't take anything, okay? So then I get to a part where in the Seven Deadly Sins, Deanna, I think that's her name, Diana, I don't know. She's a giant, right? Well, she has big boobs. Well, she's a giant, but she also has like huge boobs. And she has, I don't remember her butt, but I'm really trying not to look at that. But it's hard to ignore the huge boobs. It really is, especially with her ponytail. She's like, I'm just like, oh God, girl, listen, calm down, tranquila, nena, okay. But there was a part in the Seven Deadly Sins where apparently the little guy with the green pillow, King Harquin, I don't know. Him and her were like BFFs, but then he erased her memories, right? But then it's like when they were spending a lot of time together when they first know her, somehow her clothes got completely ripped off and she was a child. Okay? Like, and it was like innocent. She was like, oh no, not like it's the only clothes I have. And then his face, and he was a child too, so he was just like that. That's what, and I'm just like, what? And then he's like, oh, don't worry, Deanna, I'll make you new clothes. And then he snapped his fingers and did some kind of little spell, and next thing you know, she has on new clothes. The clothes that he made for her, they have sleeves, yeah, they're like yellow sleeves, whatever. But it's really skimpy. It's really, really skimpy. And maybe I'm just being a prude. I don't know. But it's just really skimpy for a child to have, And I'm just like, okay. And then I asked my boyfriend, I'm like, he couldn't make her any pants or shorts to go with that? Like, it has to be that skimpy? Like, she's a child, but alright, cool. No, it's not cool, but whatever. And I continue watching. Well, I think in a scene either after or previous, I don't remember, but see, Deanna is a giant. So Deanna, every time her friends are eating or she wants to know, and like she wants to be in a conversation or something or see what's going on, the other people that are littler than her, they have a house like on top of a pig. I know it, like, if you would have told me this at first, I'm like, this is ridiculous. But it's kind of interesting, too, because, like, I really do like the art and, the colors and, like, the theme. It's good. Some parts are questionable, but I'm just like, oh, it does have a good storyline. But in that, it's a green pig, there's a house on it, and all the people are eating. And the Deanna is like, she has to like get on all fours and like look in the house because she's huge. She's a giant, But it's like her position, I guess. Like the way, and I guess this is part of fan service, what I was telling you about. The way that she was like crouching, like, and I'm not trying to sexualize, like, whatever, but the way she was crouching. It was like her body, her because her the way that he made her clothes was so like it was skimpy, like towards the bottom area, and it's like her whole it was like that, with her butt like all the way up in the air, and so her butt this is her butt and this is her head, and she's like ouch, that hurts, but she's like this, and then this is her eyes like looking in that window, and like I'm just like, why why is she why why is she crouching like that? I was like, I don't know if I like this. Like, this is making me uncomfortable, whatever. And I started questioning myself why I was thinking that way. Maybe it was me. But I'm just like, this is something I'm definitely gonna research because I don't know anything about it. I've seen Beastars. I don't know if you consider that anime, but it's like the first animation. Well, besides Sailor Moon, but I don't even remember that. That was from a long time ago. Beastars was good. It was like it was good, but it was like kind of messed up, but it was good. It has some scenes between animals because they were like humans, but I don't want to get into that. That's another video. But what bothered me about anime, what bothered me about the Seven Deadly Sins is the over sexualization of, like kids, because they all seem like they're kids. And there's, one incident to where they step on a mushroom. Deanna and Princess, whatever her name is, steps on a mushroom. And I hate that princess's voice. She gets on my freaking nerves. I just cannot stand her, right? I just can't. Her voice is just like, oh, well, like, I would really appreciate it if, like, na 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 na. Okay, gross. Stop talking. Like, don't talk, right? So, like, about this magic mushroom. Well, the magic mushroom shrinks them. And next thing you know, the princess, whatever her name is, they all lose their clothes. Like her and Deanna just so happens to be the most voluptuous of them all. And like from what I'm seeing in this show, boom, boom, boom. Okay. They lose their clothes. Obvious, because why wouldn't they? But and then Deanna's like, oh, well, I lost my clothes, and yours are the only clothes that can fit. Really? Because it seems to me that her clothes really don't fit her either, but whatever. Can I borrow your clothes? Yeah, it's totally fine if you borrow my clothes. I just don't have any clothes for myself because I'm so small. Oh, it's okay, Princess so-and-so. Just fit between my boobs. Just what? Just what? Huh? You gon' Princess is gonna be up in there? In between what you got? Alright. And there's this other part to where it's like the guy, forgot his name, he's a little blonde. He's a little blonde little boy. Right? Deanna is like in love with him, and Deanna was like, oh, well, since I'm your size now, we can do so many things that you've done to Princess so-and-so. Now you can do them to me. And Princess so-and-so is in between her boobs. And not to mention the times that he just like randomly gropes Princess so-and-so. And it's supposed to be like comedic. I don't know if I'm saying that right. But it's just like, I don't know, God. I don't know. And I worry. And the reason why I worry is because like I've noticed some of these behaviors that my clients have, portrayed when they would get that really high pitched voice like that Princess so and so girl. I'm like, oh well, and then they would actually brag to me that their friends told them that they're acting like an anime character, and I'm assuming it's a girl because they're a girl, and they thought it was a good thing, and I'm like, now maybe, like I said, I'm just on this the Seven Deadly Sins. I've seen like bits and pieces of others, but I don't really remember it. Maybe it's because I was asleep most of the time because I wasn't taking my medicine for narcolepsy. So that's what happens. You don't remember, like, because you conk out, right? So this is like the first one I'm seriously like watching it through, trying to keep up with the storyline. And like, if my clients that are teenagers that are highly impressionable are bragging about like being told that they're acting like an anime character or they look like an anime character, that causes concern for me because like anime characters are fiction. Hence the term. Well, yeah, they're fiction, right? Mm-hmm. Fiction, okay. So for them to strive to really want to look like that, there's no possible way that they can achieve that. None. It's like, and because they like the way that the anime characters look, because they said, oh yeah, you look like, I got told one time I look like an anime character. I don't even know what that meant. I didn't even, because I didn't watch anime, I don't even know what that meant. I was like, that's not the look I was going for, but alright, like, I don't even know what you mean, bruh. But I didn't know. So the fact that my clients are saying, oh yeah, my friends are telling me, you know, that I looked like an anime character when I wore this, or that I acted like an anime character when I did this, to me that causes concern, because a lot of the female characters, well, just in the Seven Deadly Sins, from what I have seen, 2 of them in the Seven Deadly Sins, I guess I'm just gonna have to ask which ones that did they remind them of or something, because there was one with the glasses and the hair like this. You know, she was pretty cool. She was knowledgeable. She was cool. She was powerful. You know, I like that one. But I guess I'm just gonna have to ask which ones, because like, if teenagers are comparing themselves to anime characters or trying to be like anime characters by changing their voices to a higher tone or becoming like kind of shy, like, really? Really? Well, you want to do this? Well, do you think this is a good idea? I don't know. Like, to me, that causes concern. And if they start dressing like them, because teenagers, young kids are highly, you know, impressionable. And then there's arguments that say, well, parents need to monitor what their kids watch and this and that, woo. Yes, agreed, definitely. But how often do you realize what your teen or your kid is actually watching? You don't know. You don't know. And you can somewhat control what they watch, somewhat. And the reason why I say that is because they got friends. They go over to their friend's house, and their friends might show them something, and they might think it's cool, you know, and you just never know. But yeah, to me, it just caused a little bit of concern, because I'm just like, wait, why are you acting different? Wait, what? I missed something. And now that I'm watching anime, I'm just like, oh my gosh. She was acting like this character when she was doing this. She was acting like this when she was doing... Oh my gosh, please, no. I just don't want teenagers or young girls to... And I know that anime, you know, well, I hope that anime is not for kids, you know, for... But I mean, teenagers, it's probably for teenagers, and teenagers, they're like, they have quick attention spans, you know, that, you know, the colors are bright, the drawings are amazing, the storyline is good, and it's eye-catching. It's eye-catching to watch that. It really is, because of the action, the, you know, the art in it, the story, it's awesome, you know, it really is. Because I'm not saying I hate it, because I mean, I like it. I just don't like the over-sexualization of the female characters in it. And, you know, the over-sexualization of that one male character in it, you know, with the 16 million pack abs. Unrealistic. And I know it's supposed to be fan fiction. I mean, fiction, I know that, but it's like, okay, abs is one thing. And I'm sorry if this offends anybody, but you see the girl's dang near buttocks, and you see her big old Mangons, like you see your melons, big melons. You see that. You see. Hold on. Okay. You see the guy's 18 billion pack or whatever. But if this was meant for adults, let's just say it is. Why don't you see the outline of his dick? Why don't you see his dick print? Keep that same energy, boo. What's in it for us? I'm just, I'm not kidding, but seriously. Like, if they're gonna objectify the woman, they should objectify the man. That's just how I feel. But in a perfect world, well, in my perfect world, like, they could make quality content without having to objectify anyone. But I know that's impossible because sex sells. And that's the reality we live in. I would say that Kim Kardashians, because, like, the Kardashians or whatever, they kind of look like anime characters. Extremely fake. Because they're like, me. Like, they kind of look like the tan version of anime characters. Except they're not Japanese. But maybe I am looking way too much into this, considering I just learned what fan service was yesterday. When I first, okay, listen, sorry, I keep jumping back and forth. When I saw Deanna get in that pose, like, she was innocently looking through the window, but then her posture was like, oh, let me just crouch all the way down and arch my back like this. I'm thinking, the thing that I said was, I'm like, that's grooming. And then my boyfriend's like, what? I was like, dude, that is grooming. That could be a possible groom tactic for someone to entice kids into abusing them. That could be considered grooming. Because people groom kids by buying them gifts, by giving them compliments, by having them watch porn, or better yet, watch anime, bro. Oh, I probably stepped on a few shows. Or watch anything with fan service. Hello, because it's completely normal. I like the storyline. I like the art. I like the superhero concept. I like the moral concept, but then again, where does morals come in play when there's fan service? I mean, like, I understand that society sexualizes everything, and that's the harsh reality that we all live in. But it's like, I'm pretty sure that people can make anime without having to over-sexualize their characters. Because the storyline, in this, the storyline is good enough to where it doesn't need it. Like, it doesn't need sexy characters. It don't need it because it's that good, Sorry, that scared the crap out of me. I guess it was my air conditioner stopping. But, and maybe I'm just too sensitive on this, just because I worked with kids who have been through traumatic experiences, and I just kind of wanted to get a glimpse in their world to see what they're watching. But honestly, if they're watching things and on this specific anime, they make it a joke to where the guy, like, gropes the woman and she doesn't even know it, and it's like, they've already been through that trauma, and it's like, I don't want them to rethink, or no, relearn. They have to unlearn their trauma, like, unlearn the old thought patterns. I don't want them to develop new thought patterns of them thinking, oh, well, this is funny. This is a joke because this character did it to this character, and it's a joke. It's a joke because he grabbed her butt and she's like, or whatever. I don't want them to think like that. And it's easy for adults to differentiate between fiction and reality, or unreality versus reality. It's easy for us because our brains are fully developed. The brain fully develops at age 25. It's easier for us to do that. But when you got an impressionable 14 or 15-year-old kid that's watching this, they're going to be influenced by it. Oh, well, she does it there, so, like, even though it's a cartoon, oh, well, she does it there and she reacts this way, and maybe I should have just reacted that way when I was getting raped. Maybe I should have just laughed and it would have been better. I'm concerned, if you haven't noticed. I mean, I'm not hating on anime. No, because I like a lot of things about anime. I just don't like the fan service. I just don't like the boobies all in the face and the girl hiding between the boobies. It's it's pointless to me because the storyline is good enough without it. But I mean, if there's any I'm probably gonna get a lot of hate for this, and I'm sorry. Well, I'm not sorry because I really don't care. But if there's any anime that y'all know, because I'm getting into, I'm dipping my toes into it. This is me right here dipping my toes into it, right? Because I'm trying to be more open-minded, and I do want to hear different viewpoints and everything, and I do understand there are a lot of cultural differences, but also just understand the population that I work with and the trauma that they've been through, and now they're watching anime, they're watching specific shows like the Seven Deadly Sins, and they're saying that being groped is funny and it's okay. Like, how is that? Alright. But yeah, if you all think or know of any anime that, that doesn't have, a lot of fan service in it, that could be, like, teaches, like, morals and values and stuff, and that'd be good for, like, these teeny boppers, because that's what I call them, to watch, whatever, or for me to watch, just give me a comment, let me know, déjame saber, porque yo quiero saber. I would really like to know, because I'm still learning about this anime situation, I'm still learning all of it. And I know that I'm ignorant in a lot of it just because this is like my first real one that I've watched. But it's just the things that I have seen, it's just a little concerning just because the kids are being sexualized. Women are like over sexualized. And the whole groping thing, and it's supposed to be a joke. Like, I'm just like, but it would have been like, the storyline is good enough to where it didn't need any of that, and it would have been amazing. Like, but I don't know. Let me know what y'all think. Thank you for listening to my rant. I feel a lot better now. Hope y'all have a good night. Goodbye.